So the Celtics and Heat are playing Game 4 tomorrow night. Um, so obviously the Celtics won the last game. These are gonna be my predictions for the game. So I'm thinking the Celtics are gonna come out with a similar mentality that they came out with in Game 3. And I think it's gonna work out good for them. I'm thinking the Heat are obviously gonna be a little bit more, um, you know, hyped up to play because I mean they just gave up a W. So Celtics are definitely gonna have their handful with the Heat. I just think the addition of Gordon Hayward, he played one game, got his rest. I'm sure they've been going over tape. Um, Brad Stevens is definitely gonna have some new and improved moves to pull out. Um, and I think Kemba kind of got a rhythm last game. So I think the Celtics are going to take game 4. Now, like I said, for the Heat, they're going to come out more urgent. But again, I think the Celtics were really onto something with putting Smart on Dragic. That kind of neutralized him last game. His plus minus last game was just horrendous. It was just terrible. It was like minus 25 or something. So with that, because I think Dragic was low key, like Dragic was a huge part of what they were doing. Huge part. He was like their leading scorer, I'm pretty sure, throughout the playoffs. And I mean, in this series, man, he was leading them like on offense. Um, Jimmy obviously closed the first 2 games well on defense, and Bam, of course, Jimmy and Bam both. But yeah, Dragic, man, if he gets neutralized, that's a big part of this offense. And then you're really going to have to rely on, Bam's 25. Jimmy's going to have to get up in the 25s consistently, both of them, if they're going to beat this Celtics team. And I don't know if they can, particularly Bam. You're asking Bam Adebayo to almost get 30 points a night. I don't know, man. Bam's good. I don't know if he's that good. We're going to see how the Celtics can adjust to this Heat, the pick and roll, especially with Bam, that, and then of course the Heat zone that they weren't using too often last game, but even when they go man, the Celtics are really attacking the hole. I think the Celtics kind of figured that hey, we have 3 or 4 guys that are just insane drivers of the basketball. So let's make this happen, and they've been doing really well. I mean, even guys off the bench like Wanamaker, dude, he can drive the basketball pretty well. Um, I think the Celtics are going to do similar things to what they did in Game 3 because hey, it worked. They're going to drive. Jalen's going to be aggressive. Tatum's going to be aggressive. Kemba's going to be doing his thing, and I think Kemba's going to have a good game, like I said earlier. I think the Celtics are really ready to take the series to a Game 5 tied up. So I think the Celtics take it. But like I said, the Heat are definitely going to come out and with some more urgency. I think it'll be a much closer game, but I think at the end of the day, once the Celtics have this whole thing figured out, they're going to be tough to beat, man. They're going to be real tough to beat. And I don't think the Heat are nearly as talented as the Celtics. And then also on top of that, if the Celtics are able to use a first team all defensive player in Marcus Smart and stick him on Goran Dragic and somewhat neutralize him, the Celtics can walk away from this game with a victory. I mean, you saw what happened last game, man, when guys like Duncan Robinson went cold. It's tough, dude. I mean, if Jay Crowder and Duncan Robinson aren't hitting threes, it's going to be tough for this Heat team to stay in the game with the Celtics. Like if Marcus Smart can do what he did to Dragic and say hold them to like whatever it was, 5 points or whatever, it's going to be up to guys like Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder to be hitting all the threes they take to keep this game close. And if they aren't able to hit the majority of the threes that they take, the Celtics are going to be up by like 10 to 15 points. And of course, we'll see how it ends because that's usually when the Celtics fuck up. They've had like a 15-point lead on, well, I think every game, really, at least a 10-point lead. They blow 2, fucking almost blow 3. But You know what I mean? Hopefully, the Celtics will be able to keep the lead. I think part of this whole what they went through and the win, I think it's gonna help them with their confidence. And I think what they really lack is confidence in the fourth quarter. And I think on top of that, the Brad Stevens needs to really change up what he's doing in the fourth quarter. I don't like how the entire game they're playing team basketball. They're dribble driving, fucking attacking the rim, finding the open guy, and then all of a sudden they stop that after the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, with about 6 minutes left, they say, "Listen, we gotta run this clock. Let's go ISO, ISO, ISO." And they ISO Tatum on one play, and then they'll ISO Kemba on another play, and then they'll ISO Jalen Brown or Marcus Smart will shoot a crazy three on another play. And it's just like, come on, can we have some consistency to what we do on offense in the fourth quarter? Because if we can, we're going to win this series, man. That's what it comes down to. Because we are too talented. We are way too talented to not have consistency in the fourth quarter. That's what they need. And hopefully, Hayward can provide some consistency, man. Hayward, I hope, can be the gel to bring all this stuff together. Hopefully, Brad's going to have another guy out there. Maybe they start closing games with Hayward, Tatum, what am I saying? Hayward, Tatum, Brown, Smart, and Kemba. That's our five best. Let them close the game, Brad, and I think it's going to really create more offense for everyone. That's just insane offense. Insane offense. You have... Listen, no hate on Jalen Brown, but Tatum, Kemba, Smart, and Hayward are all four. That's four great passers, man. Great passers. I'm not saying Jalen Brown's a shitty passer, but those four guys, those are some of the best passers in the league. And I know you guys have seen it in the series. I've been saying it all year. A lot of people haven't seen it, but those are four of the best passers in the league, man. The offense can really open up if you play that lineup to close games. And I think Brad should seriously start looking into that. And I know he said it, so I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. But I am him. So, just my thoughts. I think Celtics take it, and I'll get a live reaction up tomorrow. Not a live reaction, but you know what I mean.